Jonathan took a deep breath, as if bracing himself, and slowly turned the handle, allowing the door to creak open. Before him lay darkness, interrupted only by a faint light filtering through a dusty window. The reporter, driven by curiosity, wandered through the corridors of an abandoned house where time seemed to stand still. Peeling wallpaper, dust settled on furniture. Everything indicated that this place had been deserted for a long time. Suddenly, something crunched unpleasantly under the reporter's boot, and before he had time to react, a sharp pain pierced his leg. He felt something tear his skin. A rusty nail was driven into the sole of his boot.
Damn, the last thing I need is...
Jonathan cautiously wandered through the corridors of the abandoned house. A haunting silence filled the air. Dusty beams of light seeped through cracks in the peeling walls, casting long, distorted shadows that seemed to dance on the edge of reality and nightmare.
Here it is. This place is soaked in fear. I hope the boss appreciates just how eerie it is.
The camera clicked, capturing the details. The dim light, the elongated shadows, the grim reflection in the shattered mirror. In one of the dusty rooms, his gaze was drawn to a wooden table. On the table lay a strangely shaped board. The main elements of the board were two large words, yes and no. They stood out from the rest of the surface because all the other letters and numbers were too worn and barely visible.
A Ouija board. I remember hearing stories about it as a child. It's not just a wooden board with letters and numbers. It's like a window into another world. They say that when people place their fingertips on the planchette, it starts moving on its own, as if an invisible hand is trying to send a message from those who have already passed.
The reporter cautiously approached the table, feeling as though the air around him was thickening, filled with a strange, elusive energy. He tried to lift the board, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if it were nailed to the table. Jonathan placed his fingertips on the planchette and took a deep breath.
I need to focus, clear my mind, get rid of all unnecessary thoughts. Spirits, hear me. I summon the spirit of Alex Fisner. Are you here?
There was no visible response. Maybe Jonathan did something wrong? But suddenly, the room felt different. The air seemed to grow colder, as if someone had flung open a window, though all the windows were tightly boarded up. In the corner, there was a faint rustling, as if something unseen was moving. The planchette beneath Jonathan's fingers shifted slightly and slowly slid to yes. A shiver ran down his spine, the hairs on his arms standing on end.
What should I ask?